Hey YouTube guys and YouTube gals, we're going to take a little trip down memory lane today. Yes, we're going to go all the way to Hollywood, California. So hop into the Wayback Machine, get ready, and we're going to point ourselves west and head down Route 66. What you're looking at is called a footed tumbler. It was made by the Jeannette Glass Company of Pennsylvania. And Jeannette began making glassware back in 1887 and continued for almost a century until finally closing their doors in 1983. During that history, one of their most popular styles was what you're looking at right here. It's called iris and herringbone. Now, back in 1961, I went to my local TG&Y store and I bought a set of 4 of these tumblers as a Christmas present for my mother. How I ended up with them is another story for another day, and I will do a video on that at some point because you may find it interesting how those events took place and how that history played out. But for now, let's change our focus and our location for a moment and go to the other side of the country, Hollywood, California, Warner Brothers Studios, circa 1961. Let's eavesdrop on the set of Splendor in the Grass. Natalie Wood and Warren Beatty are getting ready to film a scene in the Loomis dining room. It's Christmas Day. Gene Callahan is the set director on this film, and he's just finished setting the dinner table and getting the scene ready to shoot. When we look at the final edited version of that scene, something isn't quite right. But let's back up a bit so we understand what's wrong and why. The movie was set in southwestern Kansas in 1928. At that time, Jeannette Glass was manufacturing their glassware in the crystal or clear version only. In the scene Gene Callahan set up, after Ilya Kazan says action and the camera does a slow pan across the dinner table in the Loomis dining room, Gene has set the table with a beautiful iris and herringbone footed tumbler at each place. He's even placed a bottle of my favorite, Leon Perrin's Worcestershire, in the center in a prominent spot. So that's historically correct too, because as you can see, Leon Perrin's has been around since 1835. So no foul there. But the iris and herringbone tumblers that Gene has used are the iridescent version, just like this. Beautiful. They look really nice on the screen. Unfortunately, Jeannette did not start making the iridescent tumblers until the late 1950s. Obviously, in 1961, when the movie was filmed, those tumblers would have been readily available. I can personally verify that fact because it was in 1961 that I purchased the one you're looking at here. But in 1928, when the movie is set, Jeannette only made them in the crystal or the clear version. So, oops. And that, boys and girls, is our nostalgia for today. As a side note, if you've never had the pleasure of watching Splendor in the Grass, I highly recommend it. And now that you're aware of it, watch for the iridescent iris and herringbone tumbler error. Obviously that was a mistake, but on the other side of the coin, Natalie Wood's performance in the film is beautifully and absolutely flawless. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed our little nostalgic journey, and I will have a follow-up for you regarding this particular tumbler and the 3 sisters that she has in the other room. So until I speak with you again, and even after that, you stay safe.